Hello and welcome to Systems Wise, the show that helps business owners and teams to solve their big sales, marketing, and systems challenges one episode at a time. You can watch the video version of this episode at getsystemswise.com. I'm Gareth Everson, and on this episode, we're going to be continuing the landing pages series, and this time we're talking about bottom of funnel landing pages. That's the scenario when visitors to your website know what solution that they're solving for. They've obviously been problem aware before. They've researched the solutions that are out there. And when they get to bottom of funnel, they know roughly what they're looking for in terms of solving that problem that is going on in their business or their life. And so bottom of funnel, they're looking to buy an answer to that problem. There are 3 or 4 types of bottom of funnel landing pages. One might be as simple as booking an appointment or a consultation with you, if indeed the product or service needs that level of consultation. And you'll have seen links to book appointments through services like Calendly. High Level has its own appointment booking service where you can put on your landing page your availability for people to book time with you in there. If it's a service or a product that speaks for itself, that landing page actually might be a sales page where all you're putting on there is that one product or service that you're selling to the person that's ready to buy. If that product or service is something that sits somewhat separately to your core offering, you might even have almost like a microsite that is branded somewhat along your main branding lines, but is almost designed as a page that looks like a website in its own rights and is almost a microsite of something that's very specific and looks like something that sits standalone from everything else that you're offering. And then we've got a 4th type of bottom of funnel landing page whereby you perhaps got a flow of clicks that somebody needs to make to take them from that first landing page that they hit, where it basically tells them that they're in the right place and that the solution that they're looking for versus your offer that you're able to provide, there's a match there, and that all they need to do next is click through to whether it's your e-commerce store or some sort of order page or a confirmation page of where they can do the next action that they need to. So 3 or 4 clear, differentiated bottom of funnel types of landing pages that you can use for an audience that is solution aware, obviously problem aware, and in that mode where they are more ready to buy. At this stage, what they're doing is they're comparing the options that they have in the marketplace, so you and your competitors, and which looks best to provide for solutions for their needs that they have. So what are we looking to do with these landing pages? Well, at this stage, as we know, they're aware of what solutions exist on the marketplace. And what you need to do with your landing pages is position yourself and your business as the most obvious choice that they can take. These are highly qualified leads who are ready to go. And so we don't want to break that trust or that confidence that they might have when they come to the site, because they've probably got other tabs that are open where they're looking at those alternatives. So what does that mean? It means that you need to present yourself as the right partner that can solve that problem that they've got. That means having good testimonials in place. It means having demos, credibility factors, all of those kind of finer details that represent you as the best person that they can be doing business or buying from to solve those problems that they've got. It's this part of the process where they're looking for probably the greatest level of reassurance that you're the right business that they should be dealing with. So what do we mean by some of those areas where you could lose that person by either not including information that they're either consciously or subconsciously looking for, or using the wrong kind of terminology at this point that they've got to? And let's cover a couple of those. So some of the obvious ones to include are really clear and transparent pricing, relevant and valid testimonials from people that look like that person that's come to the page. They're really important to include in there. Also, not disturbing or distracting that chain of thought that somebody has, either from previous interactions with you or from previous downloads that they've had from you earlier on in the process, whereby you've used language in a particular way or imagery in a particular way. Don't make that bottom of funnel page that they visit then look something that's very different to that. So if you've talked about a methodology, for example, make sure that you don't then refer to a slightly different methodology in the bottom of funnel one. Or if you've used particular imagery or timescales or process steps or names of packages that they'll have seen elsewhere, don't then throw the baby out with the bathwater by using different terms and different language and different product details in the bottom of funnel page. These are all sort of subtle but important details to include in that bottom of funnel landing page. So there we've covered things that we should be including in the page. And just as we talked about decluttering your top of funnel and middle of funnel pages by not having huge menu links to other things that are distracting, remember that as well on your bottom of funnel one. Remember, our key measurement of a bottom of funnel page is what's our conversion rate when somebody hits that page. So we don't really want them drifting off onto your social media links or down particular blog routes when they come to a bottom of funnel page. What we want them to do is to take the action that we'd like them to do to either book that time with us or to buy from us or take that other bottom of funnel action that we need them to do. All we want to do is reassure them that they're in the right place to do the thing that we want them to do and to take that action. So the only other things that we should really include on that page is the option for them to quickly get in contact with somebody in your business if they've got questions. So you might include a chat widget in there, or you might include a phone number prominently on that page so that they can actually have a phone conversation with somebody before they make that commitment to do whatever you want them to do. So what you don't include on the page is almost as important as what you do include there. We've got this focus on that key action that we want them to take on the page. One little thing that I mentioned when it comes to your forms is it's quite common now in advanced software like High Level for you to be able to use information that you know about that visitor on your forms, whether it's an order form or a form that they're filling in when they're booking an appointment with you. If you already have their details on file because they've filled in a form elsewhere or you've had an interaction with them via your chat widget elsewhere, services like High Level can remember that information and auto-populate forms with those details. In High Level, it's called a sticky contact. So if you know that that person will be visiting other pages on your website, you can set those forms up to use the sticky contact feature that will pull in from their contact record things like their email address, their name, their full address, if collecting their address is important to you. That can help reduce the friction that goes through their mind, either consciously or subconsciously, when it comes to them filling in their details. If somebody arrives at your page and much of the form, or all of it perhaps, has already been filled in for them, that takes away a lot of that sort of friction that they need to fill that in. That barrier to completing the action that you want them to has already more or less been moved away. And all they really need to do is confirm that they're in the right place, confirm that they're doing the right thing, and just hit the button to say that's what they want to do. So give good thought to that's a great way of reducing the likelihood that somebody would decide that, I don't have the time to do that now, or it feels like too much of a hassle to re-input details that this person might already have about me on that page. So give some thought to that as well. So as I wrap up this episode around bottom of funnel landing pages, the message I want you to take away from this is that the bottom of funnel landing page, whilst it's really important for your business, it's relatively straightforward to focus on important things. I don't use the word simple lightly, but I definitely don't want you to overcomplicate what that bottom of funnel landing page does. And by way of making sure that you're on the right pathway to achieving the objectives of what you want that bottom of funnel landing page to do, I'd encourage you to set up some simple split testing. So if your software that you're building these pages in allows you to have different versions that are live at any one time of that landing page, set up your two different versions to test different headlines, different testimonials, different calls to action in that landing page, and see which version over the course of perhaps the first 50 or the first 100 visits leads to the best outcomes in there. And always keep the best version before you then test a different one with it. The topic of bottom of funnel landing pages, the conversion focused landing pages, if you like, does get massively overcomplicated and overthought by small businesses. And the reason for that is that it's so meaningful to you that if you aren't able to convert at a level that you should be converting at, then you're underperforming the potential of your business. So try and keep it as simple and as straightforward and as clear to that visitor that's coming to your page as possible. It's as important to remove clutter and remove noise and remove unnecessary text from that page as it is to have those credibility factors and those important factors that will make the difference of somebody filling in that form or buying that product than they would do otherwise. If you'd like to get the show notes for this episode, then go to getsystemswise.com/EP43, where the guides to this are available and some notes around the differences between top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel landing pages, and what are the key specifics at each stage in that buyer's journey. If you've got any questions, as always, you can find me on LinkedIn. Go to askgareth.com, where my DMs are open. And if we're not already connected, I'd welcome your connection. On the next episode, we'll be wrapping up this landing pages series by talking about some scenarios where you might have landing pages that don't fit the normal buyer's journey. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Systems Wise podcast. Remember that what we learn today builds more value if there's a plan to take action on it tomorrow. So head to getsystemswise.com and check out all the resources and training on the software and systems that you need to build a scalable business without breaking the bank. And if you value the show, please help others to discover it too by leaving us a review wherever you get your podcasts, or by sharing a link to an episode on LinkedIn or wherever your finger does its scrolling.